Hey y'all, Cam Walker, Texas agent here. Thought I'd come to you this week with a pre-listing checklist. Couple of tips and tricks, simple one-pager that we can walk through your house and go through before Curtis and I put this in your yard, so that we've got your house ready for those potential buyers to walk through it, for that open house that we're gonna host for you, and once we have you under contract, it's gonna make that inspector's job just a little bit easier. So let's go walk through my house. I'm not selling it, but let's walk through my house so I can show you what this is all about. Your kitchen, of course, is one of the biggest selling points in a house. So before we have any potential buyer walk through, before we host an open house, and definitely before the inspector comes, you want to make sure that everything has been cleaned, wipe down the surfaces, check for any chipped tiles, broken tiles, any chipped paint, make sure there's no drips in the sink. Make sure things run the dishwasher, run the disposal. Just kind of make sure that you're not leaving anything for the inspector to catch or potential buyer to catch. Now, when it comes to the bathrooms, again, you want to make sure everything is clean, but the inspector is going to also come through. He's going to check for leaks. He's going to make sure those sinks drain easily and the bathtub drains easily, showers, whatever you have. And he's going to go through and flush all of those toilets. So you want to make sure that everything is working like it's supposed to. If not, we might want to consider getting a plumber out to look at things. Another quick, easy thing inside the house, check your air conditioning filters. Even if you replaced it last week, go ahead and replace it. Put a new one in there, especially before the inspector comes. They want to see a clean filter. They don't want to see one that's been in there for a while. If you have a wood burning fireplace in your house like we do, one of the things you want to make sure you do before your first showing, before we host an open house, is clean it. Make sure it's been swept out, vacuumed. You might even set up a few logs in there just for show, but definitely before the inspector comes, if need be, you might need to get a chimney sweep out just to clean the whole system, because they're going to be checking for excess buildup and gunk inside that chimney. And that's one of the things you don't want the inspector to have to catch. Some other things to think about inside your house. Walk around and look at all your light bulbs. Are any of them burned out and need to be replaced? Or are there any fixtures that don't have light bulbs that match? You have a daylight and a soft white in the same fixture. You might want to match those up. Smoke detectors. When was the last time you tested them and replaced the batteries? Because an inspector is definitely going to test your smoke detectors. Also, walk around and open and close all your doors. Do they all open and close freely, or do we need to do any adjustments or grease them just a little bit? Same thing with your windows. Do all your windows open and close freely? Definitely a big deal for the inspector. And then just in general, declutter a little bit. Potential buyers, when they walk through your house, they want to be able to envision their own things. They want to envision turning your house into their next home. As we move to the outside, there are several things that the inspector is going to look pretty closely at. One of those is all of your windows, your doors, and your garage door. He's going to check to make sure that there's adequate caulk. So walk around and check out your windows. He's also going to look at all your fascia boards. Are there any that are rotten and need to be replaced? Or is there any peeling paint that we need to get off and just put a fresh coat of paint on? He's also going to look at your roof. Are there any tree limbs touching the roof? Are there any missing shingles that we need to replace? That's also a big thing for the insurance world. Insurance companies don't like to see tree limbs on the roof. So if you've got any of those, we might want to get up there and trim them or hire somebody to come trim them. The inspector is going to look at your flower beds. It's not as big of a deal, but they want to see if your plants, your shrubs, and your trees are about 10 inches from the foundation. They also want to look and see if you have siding, which I'm all rock, but if you have siding, they want to see that that dirt level is about 6 inches from the bottom of the siding. Now, as you walk around, see if there's any erosion areas that we need to backfill with some extra dirt. And as we walk around, please don't judge me on my own flower beds. We have not replaced anything since the freeze we had in February, and that's definitely on our list. Another thing the inspector is going to look at is your air conditioning unit. Is there any debris on top of it that needs to be cleaned off, or any debris around it? Make sure that that area is nice and clean. When it comes to your garage door, they're going to check to make sure it works with power and it works without power. So they're going to open and close it using the buttons. They're also going to open and close it using the safety latch inside. They want to make sure that it works no matter the situation. So I realize I just gave you a long list of things to look at your house before you list it. If you didn't have a pen and paper to write all that down, leave me a comment, send me an email. I'd love to share my checklist with you. And know that when you list with Curtis and I, and you let us put this sign in your yard, we're here to help. We're gonna bring that checklist with us, and we're gonna walk through your house with you and help you in any way we can. That's part of our going above and beyond and giving Simply great service. Now, I hope this has been helpful. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about the tips and tricks that you can do. And until I see you guys again, have a wonderful day.